joining us today. Today we will have the Chairwoman, Michelle Steele, Vice Chairman Andrew Doe, Mayor Katrina Foley, and a representative from 360 Clinic that will be presenting today to talk about the 360 Clinic. We'll also have Dr. Chow that will be here for questions, and then also CEO Frank Kim. So should you have some questions, that will be the order of announcements here. So with that, I will have Chairwoman Michelle Steele to come up for questions for her statement at this time. Thank you.
Try to wear and take it off. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us all today in Costa Mesa for this momentous occasion for the start of second testing COVID-19 super site in the 2nd District of Orange County. I'd love to thank our partners at the City of Costa Mesa, 360 Clinic. They've been already doing a wonderful job in Anaheim, and our host at the Orange County Fair and Event Center. And I also want to thank you to our Vice Chairman Doe and Supervisor Chafee that they've been done fantastic job spearheading our testing ad hoc committee to make this site a reality. This is not the first one. We just opened Anaheim and people can make appointment. I heard there's not much of waiting at all. Lastly, we know how hard the staff at Orange County Healthcare Agency has been working to make this reality so big, thanks to our healthcare workers. And we have Dr. Clayton Cha standing someplace here, and we've been working very close together. So this is a partnership, and I really appreciate it. We understand with the start of school that there will be need for our teachers, students, and families to use super sites such as Costa Mesa to ensure that they are free from COVID-19 in order to return to the classroom. This site can get people in and out quickly and return their result within 48 to 72 hours. But some of our staff did in Anaheim. They got it less than 24 hours. They got their result, good result, negative. All in comfort of your car. And our friends at 360 Clinic even have swabs for children to make it a bit easier to get a specimen. Students, teachers, and families won't be the only ones benefiting from the Costa Mesa super site, but so will our first responders. Just like Anaheim site, our first responders, this include our firefighters, police officers, and EMTs have a special line to get in and out faster. Again, we ask that our first responders register prior to coming on site at our website, occovidnineteen.com/supersite. With that, I want to say thank you, Vice Chairman Doe, and please come up and say a few words.
Good morning. Thank you, Chairwoman Steele, for your leadership and your trust in me and Supervisor Chafee in designating us as the testing ad hoc for the Board of Supervisors. Supervisor Chafee and I, as part of the COVID testing ad hoc committee, working with Dr. Chow, we have been working nonstop for the past 6 weeks since the creation of the ad hoc committee to create strategic and significant increases to our county's COVID-19 testing capability. The ad hoc committee works to ensure that every Orange County resident who needs a test can get one. In less than 6 weeks since the opening of the Anaheim super site, we are proud to be here joining with the City of Costa Mesa and our partners to open up the second COVID-19 testing super site, and this time at the Costa Mesa Fairground. The official name is Fair and Event Center, but for us longtime OC residents, we're always going to call it the OC Fairground. Operating this site with our partners, 360 Clinic and Fulgent Genetics Lab. The test provided here will be provided to our residents at no cost. For those who are insured, there will be no out-of-pocket expenses as well. And it's important to put into context how important the super sites are, Anaheim and Costa Mesa, in conjunction with our other testing locations, how that fit into the County of Orange role in helping to reopen our economy, to keep us safe and to help reopen our schools. What you have is the testing capability at the county that will allow essential workers, first responders, teachers, school administrators, and people who have either symptoms or who have been exposed to COVID-19 to have the ability to get tested quickly and to get results back quickly. And to be able to do testing at the Anaheim site up to 1,000, 1,200 tests a day, depending on the day you're talking about, and then to get the results back within 24 to 36 hours on the average is an accomplishment that is a powerful tool in helping all of us in the County of Orange to be able to combat COVID-19. And so cannot understate how important this testing capability is and how it fits into everything that we do in the county to open up. So residents can register for both the Costa Mesa and Anaheim testing super sites online at ochealthinfo.com/COVID-test. And the public can also call 1-800-446-8888. Now, testing in the super sites is necessary to reach the community at large. But we also know that there are smaller sub-communities in our county, ethnic communities, certain parts of our population that are at particular risk. And so it's important that we have the ability to reach out to our residents, no matter which community they belong to, where they live, or their language. And so I am very proud to announce that yesterday the Board of Supervisors unanimously approved my proposal to establish a multilingual call center and website to assist the public on how to access COVID information and also testing, as well as making available other county resources. And a month ago, the testing ad hoc, consisting of myself and Supervisor Chafee, through the Latino Health Equity Initiative, also took testing into the Latino community and doing grassroots outreach to try to get to reduce the number of infections that we see in the Latino community, which is the highest right now in our county. And we know that there are cultural and language barriers that may prevent people from knowing about the resources that we have and the need for testing. And so we contracted with many of our community partners and nonprofits to bring that resource into the Latino community at the neighborhood level. And I am very proud to announce that the number of people who have signed up to be tested from the Latino community is increasing every day, and it shows that our work is effective. So with the OC Fairground Testing Super Site, and now Orange County has 4 county-run testing centers, which will obviously bolster our testing capability and enabling more symptomatic and also asymptomatic residents within priority groups to be able to access testing. And it's important to emphasize and put some of our residents, especially in Costa Mesa's mind at ease. The testing here is the contactless, meaning there's no contact. People don't leave their car. In fact, they barely roll down their window to be able to communicate, and then they self-administer the test. So there's very little risk of contact or of spreading the COVID-19 virus if they have it. So between Anaheim and Costa Mesa, we estimate to be able to, and our two other sites, we will be able to test close to 3,800 individuals per day. That's just from the county of Orange alone, 3,800. When you add that with our private providers in the county, as a county, we are now up to 10,000 tests a day. Let me repeat that, 10,000 tests a day. And so we have reached a momentous part in our county's capacity now to be able to help to control the spread of COVID-19, which, as you know, is so important for us to get on top of so that we can then reopen our county, reopen our schools, and hopefully regain control over our lives. And so I want to thank, again, our partners. First, let's start with the city of Costa Mesa, and under the leadership of Mayor Katrina Foley. I want to thank 360 Clinic, Vince Tin and his team here, Fulton Genetics Lab. We couldn't have done this, the county, without all of your help. And this is the time for us to put aside any differences we have and work together as a county to address the biggest crisis that we have faced as a people. And I'm excited that to see the culmination of that collaboration and that very collaborative spirit that we have. So with that in mind, I would like to invite Mayor Foley to come up and say a few words.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I think I'm going to have to talk to Dr. Chow because I see 4 sides on this tent. But it's a little warm in here, so I'm going to take this mask off for a minute. We're proud. I'm Katrina Foley, I'm the mayor of the city of Costa Mesa, and we are so proud to host, alongside with the Orange County Fair and Event Center, this new testing site. For about 10 weeks, all 34 mayors had relentlessly lobbied Frank Kim and Dr. Chow to try to get mass testing. I want to give a shout out to our 34 mayors who meet every Friday on a call with our county to try to solve our problems during the pandemic. And I want to thank the county, Dr. Chow and Mr. Kim for listening, and it's been and the Board of Supervisors as well. And I also want to thank Congressman Harley Ruda for helping us, along with our whole Orange County delegation of congressional representatives, for helping us to get the funding to be able to actually host this site here today. We need more funds, and we know that you'll continue to work on that. I had a chance to go through the site yesterday with Vince. Thank you for agreeing to take on this challenge, and thank you for your professionalism in making sure that our outstanding community is not impacted by the thousands and thousands of people that will be here. Our Orange County Fair and Event Center is perfect for this. During the pandemic, we have been hosting weekly food distribution drives. So it's only natural that we would now take care of our community's public health here at our Orange County Fair and Event Center. So thank you for joining us in making this important step. As we continue to try to reopen, as our numbers continue to decline, because we're wearing our face masks, we're staying away from each other, we're avoiding crowds, we're socially distancing, and now we're testing. I know that Mayor Schauber would appreciate me saying this. Testing. That's what he says to us every week. And so we need to continue to test. We want everyone to know, come down and test. Make sure that you get your test. If you are a first responder, you'll have a designated line. Teachers, we are appreciative that the county has included teachers and students in the testing program so that teachers can get tested, so that our schools can remain open. We cannot understand the extent of the community spread of the virus, and we cannot continue to isolate and identify hotspots unless we have mass testing. So as we continue to move forward with the testing program, we are so grateful to our community partners. Testing, as was said, will be available Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's all by reservation. You need to go online and make a reservation. It's very easy. I tested it out yesterday myself. It was quite simple to go through the process. Thank you for making it easy. We will continue to push to have more asymptomatic sectors included because we think that it's best to test everyone so that we can identify. We know that in the 92627 zip code here in Costa Mesa, which is our Latino community, our dense apartment housing community, we have some increase. The numbers are doubling there, and so we want to address that very quickly. We want to be able to test widely in those neighborhoods. I'm also grateful that we'll have quick results. I know in talking to our restaurant community, they need quick turnaround. They need to know right away if their workers are sick. Our grocery clerk workers need to know right away if they're sick so that they don't go to work and spread the virus. Traffic control measures, I want to address that because this is Costa Mesa and the Orange County Fair and Event Center is always about traffic. And so we're grateful that you have considered the traffic control measures for our adjacent neighborhoods. Again, congratulations on this really important day here in Orange County where we will be able to continue to move forward in addressing this pandemic. So I appreciate you all coming. Thanks so much.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having us 360 here. I'm going to take off my mask. First of all, I want to send sincere thank you to Chairman Michelle Steele, Supervisor Andrew Doe, Supervisor Doug Chaffee, and Mayor Katrina. They make it happen. I want to say thank you to Dr. Clayton Cho and the Orange County Healthcare Agency. Our team has great pleasure of working directly with OCHA and contributing the effort to keep the community healthy and safe. This is very important. And lastly, we want to thank you to our partner who made the drive-through possible, such as Fogen and the partner, the Doctor Network. I take a few more minutes to address the importance of keeping the healthy safe from the pandemic. Testing is very important. We all know that. More importantly, how do you contain the positive cases after they test positive at the site, and then contain those positive cases in the home with 100% quality of care. So that requires a team, not just on the site, but also following the patient at home with telehealth, with mobile x-ray if we need to, with home health agency, and try to keep them out of the hospital. So we do a lot of innovative approach at the home already, and those require a full home system that make it happen. And and we work day and night for that. And the team over there with Vince and David and Nargis, they work very hard. So thank you very much, and we look forward to contributing our effort 7 days a week, nonstop, and make sure that we do everything we can to support the OCHA.
Good morning. I'm Frank Kim, the County Executive Officer. With the completion of the statements from our speakers, we're available for questions from the media.
Will there be more super sites planned in the future or smaller sites for testing? And what will that mean towards keeping us off the watch list moving forward?
I think that's something that we'll always discuss with the testing ad hoc, but I think the commitment that we'll make from the county is that to the extent that more testing is needed, we absolutely would be open to standing up more testing sites. But today, we know that the Anaheim testing site still has capacity, and we're bringing up this new site, and we'll see what happens as schools reopen and industries reopen in the future.
What happens in the capacity at the Anaheim site? What kind of
When we first, I think it would be best if Dr. Chow were to address that question because he's got more specifics.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Dr. Clayton Chow. To answer your question, I know at our Anaheim super site, at least at minimum, we have the capacity up to 1,000 tests a day, but we've been doing it around close to 50%, so the capacity is there. And standing up this site too, we'll actually increase the capacity for Orange County to support all of our essential workers and people who are symptomatic as well as exposed to get tested on time. So, thank you.
Dr. Chow, how much testing will be done at this site?
So for the first week, because it's soft launching, we Fulgent and 360 will support 500 tests a day, and then starting next week, they'll ramp up to 1,000 tests a day.
And Dr. Chow, could you address the new CDC guidelines, which indicate that it's a little bit of a shift in terms of what they recommend for testing, that perhaps if you're not symptomatic, you don't really need a test, or if you have been exposed, you don't even need a test as well?
Yeah, so remember there's only a guideline, and then locally from the state and the county perspective, you have to look at the transmission pattern in your state and in your local jurisdiction to make those decisions. And so together in California, you probably heard that we have changed the tier system into including people, most and foremost people who are symptomatic, right? They need to get tested. And then people who are essential workers, especially those who are exposed, need to get tested. The reason being, we want to know so we can do early intervention and prevention to control the spread, as Chairman Steele, Chairwoman Steele, and Vice Chair Doe, and even Mayor Foley have talked about. On a weekly call with CEO Kim, that's the topic that keep coming up, is how do we make sure that people get tested so we know and we do appropriate intervention and take care of folks. So.
The numbers have come down since the Anaheim site opened. With this site opening further, is that going to mean numbers will go down? Does this prove that it's working and that people are aware that who's sick and therefore numbers are decreasing?
Well, I think you mean in terms of number of people who get tested. I think Vice Chairman Doe has talked about, we do have certain pockets in Orange County that have a higher positivity rate compared to our overall county rate. And so that is the concern, is that we really need to go into the community, look at those neighborhoods and encourage people to get tested, as well as bring in resources to those communities. Mayor Foley talked about one zip code here in Costa Mesa where we have high impact community where people live in closed settings and people who do work that would not allow them to have the luxury to do telehealth or telecommute. And so they are at a higher risk of being exposed and being transmitted. Remember, the point here is that transmission is all over the county, not just in certain zip code. You see a higher positivity rate just because that's where people live. And the lab register people based on residence, not so much of where they are about, right? You heard me talk about it is not enough to only talk about county, but we also have to talk about region, because we don't have a gate that lock us from other county, and people are very transient, right? Folks live in Orange County, work in other county. Folks who live in other counties also come and work in Orange County, so the transmission is in the community. So we really have to drive that message across, is that truly there isn't a place that is safer than the other, just like there isn't a place that is worse than the other because we don't want to stigmatize, right? That's the least that you want to do. And so we want to make sure that people are well taken care of, get tested, get the resources they need.
Thank you, Dr. Chow. As you know, yesterday, the Board of Supervisors made Dr. Chow our permanent health officer for the county. And you see why Dr. Chow, Dr. Chow, with his vast experience and in-depth working relationship at the state level, has really put Orange County in a very good footing in terms of how we prepare ourselves to recover and maybe come out of COVID-19. In addition to the preventative measures that we talked about in terms of face covering, washing your hands, maintaining social distancing, a component, obviously, of testing in terms of surveillance and addressing the spread of the disease of the virus is important. But not less important is also the confidence that the public has in the health system to be able to have adequate testing, to give them the assurance so that they can then work with us in reopening our county and our economy and our schools. That is not a small factor in what we should keep in mind when we deal with COVID-19, and especially now that Orange County has gotten off the watch list for the state. And as we work to open up more sectors, this confidence in the public and the capacity that we have as a county to be able to step in, test, and get on top of any situation that may come up. I think the emphasis on that and the assurance that we give to the public cannot be measured because of a lot of what they do, the confidence in moving forward, and also to see that the results of what they do with the preventative measures will encourage people, the public, to adhere more to those measures and then to contribute further to the lower numbers and hopefully the reopening of our county.
I just wanted to quickly address the mobile testing, and what we are offering here in Costa Mesa in addition to this super site is that through Share Ourselves, we now have a mobile testing unit that is actually going to be going out into homes, areas of dense apartment communities. It's going to our shelters throughout Orange County, but particularly right here in Costa Mesa. So that's another tool that we are using to provide testing to our most vulnerable communities and to get them to understand the need for testing. I want to give a shout out to our Assistant City Manager, Susan Price, who's been very integral in helping us to do that. And also, I failed to recognize our Mayor Pro Tem, John Stevens, who is here today. And together, we've been working really hard to provide a lot of these resources to the community. But the mobile testing site and unit is really important. It's actually going into Anaheim as well, not just in Costa Mesa. And congratulations, Dr. Chow. I am thrilled that you are now the official and not the interim. You have provided a great service to Orange County over these last few months and to all of our mayors who are trying to manage this process. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair Doe and Mayor Foley. I've always said that it's not my work. I'm just a face, public face that you see, but behind me I have fantastic staff. Thank you to the elected official and CEO Kim for supporting this specific site. But the three people that I want to thank, Dr. Jones and also Jessica Hudson from our public health department, and Molly for putting this together. I mean, this is hard work, and public servants truly speaks to the definition of who we are in doing the work for the community. So thank you.